The goddess Neffertiti's role in Ascension. October 14, 2014. Clear your mind and let your heart and the rest of your chakras receive the universal energy pulsing through each receptive child of Source at this time. Know that you're being given as much support and assistance with the most difficult aspects of your earthly experience as you require, and seek to be as open as you can to the energy, information, and inspiration being happily and lovingly sent your way. To pick up on the energy of the higher realms properly, the influence of the ego is meant to be completely diminished, and you're meant to open your heart and receive the sacred flow that results. Everyone on your planet has the latent ability to channel energy and information from the higher realms, but like many other abilities, your belief will always determine the outcome of your attempts to channel. Believing is essential. If you're unwilling to believe you're capable of connecting with the higher realms in the real and pure way you can now connect, then your connection will naturally be muddied and distorted. Many of you will wonder why you can't seem to find the pure flow you enjoy bringing through so much, and we'll always be with you to let you know that in most cases, it's because the mind attempts to influence your channeling creative sessions. As long as you can completely transcend the influence of the ego, while being creative and at all other times, you'll have little difficulty finding the connection you seek, and you will be able to use it to uplift waves of other souls who might not have found any sort of upliftment were it not for your diligent efforts in receiving and interpreting the energy of the higher realms. So much is happening on your evolving planet at present, and much of it is difficult to communicate with earthly words and sentences. Many physical developments are hidden from most of humanity, and will continue to reiterate that when you learn the truth about yourselves and your existence, you'll be very surprised. When you see just how different your reality is from what you've been led to believe, life will take on a whole new meaning, and you'll find yourselves in a new world that's vastly different from what you previously expected. We know that many of you wait for disclosure or various other bold events that'll help affirm the reality of everything you've come to believe and empower, but the inner revelations you're starting to discover are already transforming the perceptions of many of you and helping you see that again, your reality's nothing like you've been led to believe. You have the ability and potential to create a wealth of needed changes to the defunct manner in which your planet has functioned for millennia, but as we said at the beginning of this message, believing in yourselves and your abilities is essential to doing anything pure or significant. Believing in yourselves will always be crucial when it comes to doing or achieving anything, and if you're willing to express confidence in yourselves and your abilities to heal your planet, everything you seek to do will flow like water. You'll have little difficulty finding the creative, inspirational flow that helps so many of you creatively thrive, and you'll act on this flow on a daily basis and use it to help as many others as possible find a degree of enlightenment. Enlightenment and ascension are two of your ultimate goals in being on the earth, but it's important to remember that you aren't just seeking enlightenment for yourselves. Many of you seek to spread it so the rest of humanity can find the empowerment and upliftment it offers. All of humanity deserves to be uplifted, and you surely don't deserve to continue to struggle in the illusions of limitation and inability. Arise, dearest children, and begin to see just how powerful you are. Empower yourselves with the understanding that you can do and be anything you desire, and don't let anything stand in your way, especially yourselves. When we encourage you not to let anything stand in your way, we don't intend to encourage egoism. We intend to encourage empowerment, because from our perspective, this important quality is missing from the minds and hearts of a lot of souls who have trouble opening up to spirit and experiencing the pure, undistorted flow that results without it. We don't intend to fill your ego with the idea that you should constantly resist any perceived attempts to stop you from doing what you've come to Earth to do, but we do want you to recognize that you're powerful enough to do whatever you put your minds to, whatever you're willing to commit to. With commitment and dedication, you'll be practically infinite in terms of what you can do and be. With this said, we'll answer our question for today. Question: who is Neffertiti? I have a few questions in regards to the being known as Neffertiti. On January 2nd of this year during sleep paralysis, I found my consciousness in a dark abyss. I saw two pair of beautiful mother-like eyes very similar to Mona Lisa's staring back at me from the darkness, and the head of a pharaoh materialized on her head. Nothing was said, just silence. Who is Neffertiti? What role did she play? How does she relate to me? Neffertiti has always been a fascinating character throughout your history, and we're blessed to have the perspective of souls who've witnessed her presence out of body. We should preface our answer by saying that even the most benevolent rulers have fallen into darkness in some of their lives, and Neffertiti took actions in her Egyptian life that were sometimes less than loving or caring. Plenty of souls who've pioneered new religions and new, spiritually inclined ways of life have fallen into similar traps, and her actions don't necessarily detract from the lighted things she came to the earth to do. Nor do they detract from the genuine assistance she's giving waves of seekers, such as you, dear reader, who've come to recognize her as a front and center guide. There's a reason Neffertiti and her dearest husband, Akhenaten, worshipped the sun god in ancient Egyptian times. Neffertiti has assumed the role of a light bearer, and sometimes, this involves shining her brilliant violet flame in the darkest of places. Neffertiti has traveled to some of the darkest, densest and most twisted realms and illuminated the minds and hearts of many of the souls there, taking them up with her back into the realms of glorious, brilliant and beautiful ascendance. She's traveled to some of the darkest rungs of creation and brought back as many souls as she could from the pits of hatred, anguish, lust, despair and various other lower and limiting qualities that can keep one trapped in a hellish state of consciousness if they aren't vigilant, and this is what she was doing for you, dearest reader. In one of your greatest moments of darkness, she was there for you to let you know that everything's all right, that you don't have to worry about the darkness you were temporarily ensnared in. She's shown her beauty and love unto the darkness that permeated your consciousness, and it's clear that she left a lasting impression. If not, you wouldn't be asking about her. You aren't the only seeker she's done this for, and her general role is to shine her light in places and at times when it's needed the most. This is the primary role she chose to play in ancient Egyptian times, though in that life of hers and plenty of other lives, she did take actions that weren't quite loving or compassionate because of the extent to which she immersed herself in the darkness she came to heal. She obviously had no choice but to immerse herself in this behavior-modifying darkness, because she wouldn't have been able to incarnate on Earth or anywhere else and lend her assistance if she hadn't. A master of transmuting darkness. Neffertiti is a master of transmuting darkness with the sacred light of your sun and the various other suns she's drawn energy from when she helped heal the lands each respective sun shines their light on, and on every planet she's helped heal. She's helped a lot of planets, she's drawn on the sacred power of the sun to assist her. She's traveled to various realms and planets, and dearest Akhenaten has followed her throughout many of these adventures. Currently, certain sparks of Neffertiti's overall consciousness are incarnate on Earth in various time periods in an effort to create change, but beyond those sparks, she remains primarily in the higher realms, communicating with any earthly scribe who can pick up on her and offering her light whenever and wherever it's needed. We encourage you to call on her day and night, dearest reader, especially when you feel weakened or low from the difficult yet necessary earthly experience you've embarked on, because she'll offer you a wealth of empowering and uplifting energy that might have you feeling a bit bouncy or enthusiastic once you've absorbed it. Neffertiti offers a sacred upliftment unlike any other, and again, she draws on the power of various suns to assist as many souls as she can with re-embracing the light and enjoying the greater perception that results. We'll make our final expressions for this communication with encouragement for the conscious community to understand that various higher dimensional souls have incarnated on your planet century after century in an effort to help humanity find the light and eventually ascend. The Earth hasn't experienced anywhere near the degree of incarnations of lightworkers and ascension assisters that she's experiencing now, but she's generally always had a few tried and true higher dimensional souls on her surface who've strived to do everything they could to bring humanity into the light. Neffertiti is one of many advanced higher dimensional souls who strive to help humanity and various other civilizations find the light, And those of you who are particularly active in your day and age may eventually find that you've experienced some pretty interesting and noteworthy past lives as you attempted to awaken humanity. Your history and future are nothing like you've been led to believe, and when you're back in the higher realms, you'll see that you've all played very important, potent and direct roles in humanity's evolution. Thank you to my higher self and spiritual guides. Channeled through Wes Anak. cultureofawareness.com